Yo, what's good? It's your boy Smoke, your co-host of the Hey Bruh, You Seen This podcast. Last week, you left off talking with our boy Chris, reminiscing about college, telling stories, specifically getting into Cantina. We left off giving a brief moment of silence to the destruction of Cantina. And with that, we move right back into it. Here's part 2. Enjoy.
All right, amen. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, amen.
Real quick. On Sundays, y'all remember they was giving out free shots of tequila on the hour, bro?
Every hour.
Yeah. And they playing shot.
I got stories for you for that
free
one.
Like what?
Everybody has.
So it's like you're not IDing at this point. Anybody that's coming to open their mouth, you just take a gulp of this trash ass tequila, bro. Like,
look here. I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. I am in no fashion too strong to like think like, oh, my masculinity is way too strong. I ain't gonna be out here looking soft or nothing like that. No, you know what? I'm okay. I embrace my sensitive side, but what I don't embrace is me standing at a bar opening my mouth for another man to pour liquor into it. What is wrong with y'all who was doing that? I want to name names, but I'm gonna leave y'all. I'm gonna wait till
they know who they are.
Yeah, they know who they are. When y'all for the ones that I know, if y'all ever come on and for this episode, I'm blasting you like, look, Ricky, I'm blasting you.
I still got the picture. I put it in the group chat, bro.
We still got them pictures. Yo, we used to be wild. You got to think, bro, too. Like, we used to be in that thing, dog. You got to think. All right, we all single. We all married now, but at that time we all single. So. All scheme. And
sometimes you ain't even have to scheme. For people like Troy who had the juice, like, you know, sometimes
juice man, yeah, that's you.
Like, you know.
Hey. I spent most of my time booed up in college.
Troy was getting schemed on. So, you know.
You said I was getting schemed on?
Yeah, most of the Troy was getting schemed.
I feel like I know exactly what you're talking about right now.
Oh man.
But yeah.
My hero.
Gosh.
Good
Pictures
times,
for days.
Man.
Pictures for days. Like, we got so many memories. The chat always, but I feel like in the chat I feel like every like 2 months we reminisce and just go to posting the same old ass pictures. Like, y'all remember this shit?
Pictures.
And go into story time.
Man.
Facts, bro.
Goodness.
Good times, bro. And I actually think, bro, Cantina might have been better than like actually like going out tonight at the clubs.
So the club, yeah.
Time,
easily. The club shit was garbage, bro. Listen.
Yeah, it was.
And go ahead. I didn't want to cut you off.
No, you got it.
I say that from a perspective of somebody who would organize and throw club parties. Yeah. The club shit was trash.
Yeah, we had to.
It was trash. You feel me? Like, you got to understand, like, even to this day, I think everybody around, like, you know, down south, DC, Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, you have segments of people who have realized the best vibe out there is a day party every time.
That's vibe for sure.
I don't
know why we did.
Yeah, like day parties, like you got to think too.
Think they came on the scene a little later though.
Yeah, that's true. You really take off until later on. You're right.
Like the day party brunch, they came kind of a little later when we was kind of on the way out. But yeah, you're right, bro. The pool parties was actually like, you know,
pool parties was pool parties too, but definitely,
definitely.
I had way more fun at pool parties.
And you think
than
about
a club
it too.
Party.
Like, you know, for some people who may have been like maybe like Chris is not as social, they're gonna come to a pool party before they're gonna go out to the club.
Easy, you feel me? And like, you got to think too, and you got to think, you going to the club. All right, I'm Greek. I love being Greek. You know, 587 will love it till I die. But I'm gonna be 100% with you. Greeks are some of the most annoying people to be around at nighttime. At any social event.
Facts.
At any social event. And I say that humbly. And
it could be anywhere, bro. Honestly.
That's what I said. At any, you know? At anything. They can be some of the most annoying people. And it's crazy. I say that more so for the later years of Greeks. The early years of Greek life was a little different for me, but like, bruh, you in a club, you done dressed up, you getting clean, and these are for non-Greeks I'm speaking for at this moment. You done got dressed up, you trying to talk to somebody, you doing this, they strolling in the club. Here we go. Or you trying to talk to somebody, you got a little female, little woman you trying to get at. Here we go. Like, not even the Greek life now. I can't even talk to you because the music too loud. I can't even walk off to the side and, try to scheme with you, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Bruh, the club life was, man, it became trash real quick. To the point where, like, I feel like my last 2 or 3 years, I mean, I was only going to the club when I needed to go to the club, dog. Or I got real bored and it was nothing else to do.
Did start seeing the same people. Like, you would just, certain people just wouldn't go out, you know what I mean? During, wouldn't go out to certain stuff like that. So you would end up
But you would see their ass at the day joints. The day vibes?
Yeah, but you see everybody at the day vibes most of the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, day vibes was definitely where it was at. Because, nighttime too, bro, like, we end up getting in a bunch of fights and scuffles just because, it's dark and misunderstandings and just random.
Not only was it the Greek shit, you had the local shit. Yeah, the local shit like that.
You fight locals, you fight Greeks. Bruh, oh my god.
Like, niggas just trying to vibe tonight, bro. Like, don't start no shit.
Bruh, we definitely hit a time when I think that was like 2011, 2012 ish. When we were just hitting the time, like, bro,
we fought every weekend, bro. It felt like,
you going out just knowing, bro. We finna fight tonight. Yeah, that's just how it's been. Somebody gonna try somebody, and you know how we,
yeah,
we ain't gonna let nobody get tried and just sit there and let that just kind of go down. But oh my goodness, it would get old, bro.
Yeah, it did get old. And like, man, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of got to a point when we was there, like, we would go out, we would just kind of like I always had my head on the swivel just because.
We told you that.
I don't know what was happening, bro. We went through a stint from like.
Well, y'all was online. I taught y'all that.
People, yeah, I mean, shit. I knew that before, just because where I'm from, but it's just like, bro, like. It's crazy, but people, fight over the littlest stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Simple shit. Looking back now, and it's
we got in a fight one time, cause somebody got bumped, and dude was talking junk about where he was from, and then.
It was a local. It would have been a local at that time.
Yeah, he was a local. So somebody from the 352 area. No disrespect to 352, but like,
okay.
But yeah, so he said where he was from or whatever. When I was like, bitch, I'm from Overtown. Socked them, and then
socked them.
And we shoot, at least from my perspective, bro. I'm getting down in the club, I'm getting money.
Every
get
time.
Money. I mean, we in the
would literally go to the club just to get thrown out,
all
bro.
Of a sudden, bro.
Have you ever been thrown out of your own party? Right. Think about that. How do you get thrown out of your own party, bro? I got thrown out of my own party on my birthday.
Crazy.
From the security guards who I had a meeting with right before the party. About how to handle shit. Think about that stupid shit.
Wow.
Come on,
the segments of fighting years I used to hear. We're like,
God, man. But now, go ahead, Dean. We got to finish that story.
Facts. So yeah, bitch, I'm from Overtown. Smack, bomb. So he steal them. So this is what we hear. So you know what I'm saying. So all of a sudden, like I said, I'm in the club dancing, and a girl run up to me outside. Oh, blah blah blah, outside fighting. So I'm like, oh shit. So we just run outside, and it's crazy because it's like, okay, I got to see everybody in fight mode. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know who we fighting.
Nobody know who fighting. Nobody knew who we were supposed to be fighting.
So I'm trying to find. Okay, I'm trying to see. Okay, where my niggas at? Who is attacking them? You know what I mean? Like,
oh man.
and
that was such a wild.
And then like all of a sudden, so we come once we. I find a target, so you know what I'm saying, and once that happens, all of a sudden the mace come out, pepper spray, and everybody just started actually not everybody us. They started just spraying us, like all of us was getting sprayed with that shit, whether it was on our arm or face or whatever. And
I was the first nigga who got hit. I was the first nigga. Somebody on our side hit the ground, and I was like, all right, like, cause we was trying. We at this point we like, you know what? We just going. All right, let's leave, y'all boys. Let's just leave. Let's just leave. Boom, boom, boom.
So we walking away. Somebody from my side dropped.
I turn around like, fuck it. All right, so fuck it. We just gonna fight security. Cause like, all right, we just gonna fight security then. I'm right here in front of. I'm like, because like you got to think about it. As we're leaving, like, you know, security's like, man, y'all leave. They pushing us out into the parking lot, and we were at All-Star Sports Bar.
Yeah.
The
parking lot, but it goes just into a bunch of
a grassy area,
and all that. It just back up into that. So after that, they start pepper spraying us. We be getting back then, and then rocks start getting thrown, and we end up getting like backed into a corner. And it's crazy. And then somebody had to come. Like, somebody came in the car, scooped a couple of us out, and then I stayed like almost right across the street. So we ended up walking over there. Niggas had to go to a gas station and
man, we was pouring milk.
And we was in the house pouring everything. Like, that joint was crazy. all over just a nigga just trying to.
Y'all ever had water? You ever had water squirted in your eyes? Like somehow, like a stream of water hit your eyes.
Yeah, like water splashing your eye. Yeah.
That's how they pepper sprayed me, bruh. Like, it was like a straight stream directly into my eye, bro. I took off. I was like, y'all boys, I ain't getting stomped out right here, so I gotta go. I need to run off to the side somewhere. And I took off into I ain't really leave the area so much. I just went far more on like close to the main road. And then I just went to my knees and just was choking and coughing, bro. Just choking. I remember hearing somebody run up on me and was like, are you all right? Are you okay? I'm dying. This bitch burning like a motherfucker. Like, bro, I can't breathe. Bro, before that time, there was only one other time I had experience with coming in close contact. Well, maybe two other times, because it happened another time in Gainesville. But back when I stayed in Kissimmee, and then I was in downtown Orlando, you know, they fighting out there all the time. Pepper spray getting sprayed all the time. But it was this one time they sprayed it, and I guess just in the air, it just carried it in our direction. Bro, it carried it to me and my boy direction, bro. And I'll tell you, me and this man was coughing all the way home, eyes watery, all the way home. So now imagine that shit being sprayed directly into your eyes and into your face. Terrible.
How long it took for that shit to get out?
What you mean, like the pain?
Yeah, like from your eyes.
Oh, the pain.
I mean, I only got hit in the arm, so it was just like arm burning. Bro.
Nah, bro, I couldn't sleep that night. I was able to close my eyes and keep my eyes open. Like, I can close my eyes and keep them open, but like my eyes were like burning constantly. You just got used to the pain of it. And like, I want to tell you that I didn't get over the whole pain and then the after pain of all of that for like 4 or 5 days, bro. And I had to constantly be like trying to flush my eyes. And if I wasn't doing that, it probably would have lasted longer. But it was wild, bro. Wild. But you look back to that situation and you think when we was getting pushed out, like, you know, being kind of like pushed out away from the club area, and you think like, oh, you got these who are throwing punches over the security at us, and you'd be like, hold on, bro. Like, in hindsight, we was all saying like, bro, hold on, bro. Security was with them.
Literally.
Facts.
And like, you know, come to find out, they family. The people of that group, they were family with one another. You feel me? So we basically was fighting security without even truly getting the opportunity to fight security, because they decided to pull pepper spray out.
Facts. Yeah,
shit was trash.
Yeah, man. Well, it was crazy, bro. It was crazy, but
hold up, before we go, I want to give y'all a quick visual. Do y'all remember White Boy Cody and how that was polka dot man for about a week and a half? How red his skin was?
Yeah.
He was a soldier, bro.
Woo.
Yeah, bro. You don't realize, like, dang, like that junk could, if it even get on any type of skin contact, bro, it you feel it, bro. Like,
it's a wrap. Mm-hmm.
You feel it, bro.
You gonna be irritated for a
real,
minute,
bro. You irritated, bro. It's wild. Don't get pepper spray, people.
Please.
You know what I'm saying? Just leave people alone. Like, you never know who packing.
Yeah, that would be my motivation these days. I was just about to say, man, fuck that. And then I said, you know what? I was about to say the way people move, the way we move, even back when we was in college, right? We did take chances a lot. But like even back then, bro, I feel like there was a common understanding amongst the people who might have been feuding. Look, we leave this shit to the hands. You feel me? You get caught slipping, you get caught slipping. It is what it is. You feel me? Keep your head on a swivel. But now the way these moving, bro, and you got to know a lot of pussy, bro. Like let's just be 100,000 about it. A lot of pussy. So all they can do is resort to wet like. But all they can resort to is just saying like, oh, they finna get me, or this happened to me. Oh, I'm gonna kill one of these. And it all may have originated from something so stupid, bro. So it could have originated from some shit like, oh man, I don't like the way they looked at me. And then for the next several weeks, you and this person see each other and y'all mean mugging. That shit build up.
Stupid, bro. Stupid. Is it too much to talk about that Pensacola trip?
Oh shit!
Go ahead. I'll let it ride.
No, tell it. Tell the Pensacola story.
Oh no! It was safe for another time.
The Pensacola story. Jesus. Yeah.
Hilarious.
So all right, y'all boys. So basically, all of us pretty much have a common thing here amongst all of us, right? We all agree at some point across spring 2010, Hog, fall 11, Deem.
Hey, shout out to my boys, man. Spring 13.
Hold on, wait. Spring 13.
Oh,
hey. Look. No, wait. You know what I was about to do. You know what I was about to do.
12, bro.
I was about to say, like, spring 12. I'm like, this the line you were supposed to be on. You wanted to play.
Spring 13, Ace Club, man.
Ace Club. You know what? I'd rather you be an ace, to be honest with you. You feel me? So it is what it is.
I was gonna be an ace either way.
Oh, heck, that's all
yeah. But then I would, then I wouldn't have heck. You feel me? I needed all of us.
Facts.
You feel? I needed all of us.
We wouldn't have the short ass dudes, nigga.
Yeah. Elite. But getting back to it, like we all was Greek, bro. Shit. How did you feel? How do you feel about Greek life? How did Greek life affect your time in college? How do you feel about it? How did you feel about being Greek at the time? How do you feel about it now? Lessons learned, experience, all that. Like let's get into that, because a lot of times when we Greek, before you go, when we're Greek, bro, and we're on campus, we have that mindset of this is a secret society. And I'm not saying we ain't about to get into like super confidential shit, but like a lot of people just don't get the perspective of what it's like being Greek and experiencing things, because you experience things so differently when you wearing them letters. So yeah, y'all boys chime in on that. Anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, so I started off. So I mean, in terms of me, like coming into college, I had no idea what like real Greek life was. I had, I knew some Q's and knew some Sigmas from back in St. Pete, but my mentor was coming up in high school. But really, until I got to college and seen the parties and all that shit, I'm like, damn, that seemed pretty cool. Obviously you see the community service every now and then from some of the niggas, but seeing that, it was obviously it was cool too, but it's just like, damn, like that's some shit I really want.
Community service was important, guys. Community service was important.
So you didn't always see it. Niggas would front like they would. They would do it, but until you really get into it,
the common man did not see us doing community service.
But serious talk, like, literally, from my perspective, it was. I literally met some of y'all like literally like my brothers, like for real, like y'all can call me, it's whatever, bro. So just having that experience of like joining the frat. And just meeting a group of like-minded individuals that's really, striving to be greater and whatnot. And, it was fun, bro. Literally, like from going out and studying together to, some of y'all being in my wedding, to come to the wedding. Like, that's really what I was looking for in terms of, me joining the frat and whatnot. And I feel like I got the full experience of it. Obviously, we didn't have the full, the full yard on campus and whatnot due to various reasons, but I feel like that's the only aspect of that kind of took away from it, because you didn't really get the chance to compete when we have like our step shows and Strolovs, or just doing different events on campus, like really like battling with like the other frats, quote unquote. Like I feel like we kind of lost that aspect of it, but overall, you really just meet people just obviously we had our beefs with some of the other frats here and there, but for the most part, I mean, I really met some cool other people. Like just because they were alphas or Qs or whatever, you still met some cool other guys and whatnot, and even the ladies for the sororities and everything. And my wife, and she's a Delta, but it's just like wow, like you really just meet some really cool individuals from it. So I hate that we didn't have the full yard, but besides that, it was literally some of the best times of my life, bro.
The most fun you never want to have again. At least getting into it. At least getting into it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I mean, that's the same thing. Like, yeah, I would say as far as like the only thing. Well, no, I mean, I won't say the only thing, but like, that's something that I missed out on too, having the whole yard, bro. Because I'm a competitive dude, and you know what I'm saying. As far, especially with the stepping and strolling and stuff like that, like, I felt like I was pretty good at that, and I feel like at the time we had a nice core who was good at that, and we did have a step show, and we won, but you know what I'm saying, it was only against
one of the frat,
only against one of the frat, you know what I'm saying.
That was it, yeah.
You know what I'm
Alphas
saying.
wasn't there,
and I feel
Qs.
like, and I feel like we we
smoked them boys.
I mean, I do.
I would have smoked them boys. Go ahead and say you would have talked your shit. You would have smoked them boys.
I feel like we won the step show off of just the first step alone. You know what I'm saying? Like we could have did the first step and left, and we'd have been straight. You know what I mean? So it's just like you do miss that, but as far as the experience, it was great because I got to, like he was saying, I got to meet so many different types of people. And I also got to learn about life and just you learn about how to communicate with other people, how to get things done on the business side, and then you also see how people move on the business side. You know what I'm saying? As far as anything, like, and you have to, if you can, any idea that you have or whatnot, like you want to get you really want to see if you can get that to make it yours. Especially if it's something that you're trying to do. Because like, I mean, I just learned, just to give a quick example, like I learned like. When we had y'all remember the Single Music Awards? Yeah,
there's something like this impromptu idea like that turning into a reality. That was cool.
We had the idea of Single Music Awards. So what that was is people could dress up as whoever they wanted to be and they could perform a song. So you see it on TV now. We did this before it even came out on TV, but you see it on TV now, lip sync battle. You know what I mean? But we had came up with idea and literally it's gonna be like technically an award show. So we award show, but you have performances in between as well, and that shit was dope. We did it the first time. I'm talking about we had a room packed. It was dope, like great response. So then the next year comes around, and BSU wants to do it with us, partner with us or whatnot. So I can't remember. I don't know if that was the case. They wanted to partner with us, or I don't know if they was trying to do their own lip sync thing.
They were trying to do their own thing.
Yeah. Okay. Bam.
And then they realized like we did it.
Yeah. So I don't. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they were already talking about it, but I mean, at the end of the day, we did it last year. Like we already done. We did Single Music Awards. It was done. So the next year come around and they want to do the lip sync, and we had something to say about that because it's like y'all really just gonna sit here and bite our idea, you know what I mean? Like y'all don't think nobody, like then we just do this, you know what I mean? So we end up having a whole meeting, end up collaborating with them. We do it again for the second year. So yeah, it's cool. Okay, it's looking like, and then in the meeting, I was there. I was present at the time. So in the meeting, we say, we're gonna continue to continue to do this together. Basically, long story short, I won't get into the details of it. And then the next year come around, and they pretty much, long story short, it gets done without us. You know what I mean? We it gets done without us, and
they jump on to get the sign of approval, and then go off on their own and take the ideas.
And they went off and they took and I mean I won't say they took it because maybe they thought about it before. Although from the outside looking in, you can see how it does look.
It looks weird.
So anyways, the next year end up doing without us, so that just gets me, to the point where I realize, okay, sometimes people just do stuff, and they only do it, and they do it for their benefit, and that's how it goes sometimes. So like all your stuff, if you really got an idea, you just want to make sure it's yours. You want to do everything you can to protect your brand. So I mean, you learn stuff like that through being in the frat and just going across different experiences. So that's kind of what I get from it, like just learning how to move in life through all the stuff that we went through in the frat.
Oh yeah, that was that whole aspect of like an event or an idea kind of being taken or slightly borrowed or inspiring somebody. It was happening all the time amongst Greeks and Greeks and organizations. Yeah, and it used to be foul every time it happened because like, come on, man, come on, right?
But especially, but you don't think something happened like that from your people, but at the same time, just to go into that with being Greek, you also do get put in this type of box to where they may, even with respective organizations, you may get put into a box of a certain stereotype. You know what I mean? So that's something that we have to combat through that. But, for Sigmas, I won't say we necessarily had a stereotype. So that wasn't one thing that we had to combat, but we did have to combat, I guess our stereotype was like, we just were then we were like kind of, okay, we don't really give a fuck about what nobody else is doing. No, like we don't really care. We're gonna do our own thing. So we've always done our own thing, and of course that can rub people the wrong way. So I mean, I can understand that, but at the same time, it's like I mean, we all still black, and that's one of the things that I kind of like didn't like about the University of Florida campus as far as the black community. It was divided into different groups such as ASU, you got Club Creole, and all of these different types of organizations where, they had their umbrella under BSU, but everybody was just so divided. So I didn't like that. And you could try to do things to kind of bring people together, but history follows along, and it gets a little tough in college. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. For me, man, like y'all mentioned, like Hog, you were saying, like you joined the frat for like the brotherhood of it, and building bonds with people who before you even joined the frat, you got cool with some of those people, and then you was like, you know what, let me go even further with it and build this bond and brotherhood, right? Most, at least as far as us, most of us, that was the driving motivation for all of us joining the frat. One thing about it, like, so when I was coming in as a freshman, bro, so I'm Jamaican, right? So born in Florida, but Jamaican parents, Jamaican household, so on and so forth. Way I say, rude boy, yes. Anyway, so just in case nobody ain't believe it, but because ain't no one ever really heard me speak patois.
That might have been my first time hearing you.
What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Nah, like I literally, because that's the thing, bro. When you're born, and this is going on a whole other tangent, but when you're born in the States at times, bro, and like I was in the culture, but like at the same time, it was some funny acting people in the culture, because like my patois, especially when I was younger, may have not been like it wasn't like the best of the best. So you would have like my cousins would pick on me and like,
Yankee, I'm about to say
Yankee boy, this, and and all that shit. So then that discourages you, and I'm sure there's plenty of Jamaican damn, how do I want to phrase it? Kids who were born in the States to Jamaican parents who went through that same type of stupid shit. But I wasn't so much. I was not fucking with like Jamsa and doing like it just wasn't.
Jamsa, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I just wasn't with it. You feel me?
That's
like
crazy.
You feel me?
It was all those different types of organizations. I mean, and then don't get me wrong. Like people did stuff together, but like it was. I mean, y'all, like it was still. You can tell like it was still separate. People still only hung with their people, even if you at events, you
get your select few you hang with, right?
At events where whereas to me, I was trying to get around and I was trying to meet, talk to everybody, meet everybody, just because I feel like when you go to college and you had this opportunity, you know what I mean, you never know who you're gonna come across after all this is over. So I mean, why not build up some relationships? Even if it's just a cordial relationship of you, just speaking to them every time you see them or just saying what's up. Like I always felt like that was valuable. I feel like people are valuable, so that means I was always trying to get around and meet new people and talk to people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I bring up the Jamaican piece to it because when we talking about joining a frat, like I said, I ain't know nothing about frats growing up, coming from a Jamaican household, all that. I found interest, got to know Mike Wood, my DP, brother from another mother, pretty much. I mean, to the death of me, that's my dog. He inspired me to want to be a part of that organization. Well, no, I won't say that. I would say he solidified it because even before that, you see the Greek life and you see all these Greeks and then you start seeing the personalities of each organization and then you kind of say to yourself, especially at that age, right? You be like, I can see myself fucking with them or like, I couldn't kick it with them. Like them boys, like they're pretty. I don't look at myself as pretty or like, oh, these like they dirty, they bite.
They gonna yell me off stage? Okay. Yeah.
Right, it's like you start to see the stereotypes and you start to see what you can rock with or not rock with. But and that's just kind of how I ended up coming to Sigma. But like I remember coming into it and like telling my moms and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I'm trying to do this. She was like, "Why? Why y'all gonna join that shit for? Why? A cult? A cult? Oh, no. It's a cult." So she coming at me like it's a cult. Yeah. It's a cult. And I'm like, man, like my people. I don't know if y'all people ever came to y'all probate show. Like,
no, my people, they were shocked. They were mortified at how much cussing. Yeah, they were mortified.
Yeah, y'all show was wild.
Bro, yeah, that was just a real quick, bro. That was the first probate I had ever been to in my entire life. I left the basketball game to go to that probate. And when I tell you, bro, I'm like, this is what it's like.
That was the wildest shit ever, bro. Like, hey, shout out my DP, Terrell Wills.
Respect for probate ever.
Shout out Breeze. Shout out Breeze.
That's a top 3 probate.
Yeah, that was a wild ass probate.
Yes,
11. Like, wow. But it's like, you have that kind of aspect from the Caribbean standpoint and Africans as well, from what I heard. Like if you were like Nigerian or something like that, and I mean like for real Nigerian, trying to join these organizations, your people's just looking at you crazy. But like, when you join an organization and whatnot, man, it's like I came in and like we just hit the floor running, bro. And like people don't realize the amount of work that you doing. Like it's so, at least I can speak to us. Partying and just that's what it is.
What they see.
Exactly. And many times, like I always thought about it like this, like on the outside looking in, it's like, oh, man, they always having fun. I want to be a part of that. But then when you get in, you now realize they go so hard on the party aspect because they working so damn hard and they stressed, bruh. I used to be stressed so much, bruh, so much. I didn't want to rock with look. It wasn't until who line dropped? It was Hog y'all lines. No, it was really when Hector them line dropped, and then definitely when Allies Demon them line dropped that I started getting, like before that, stressed all the time. Go from president, treasurer, event, blue and white, toxic situations that I'm dealing with, like all these things that are happening, and it's just like, bruh, when do I get a break? GPA dropping, all that shit. When y'all boys, when some of y'all young boys finally came in and y'all kind of taking up some of the work, I could finally start having fun. So it's like I crossed in 2010, and it wasn't until like y'all came out spring 2013. It wasn't until like just before y'all came out that I really started to enjoy the Greek life, bro. So think about that.
Our
shit.
probate was the first probate you actually seen, right?
Yeah, it was the first. It was the first one, and we brought out Heck line. So first we brought out Chris them line. Yeah. Didn't see that. Right, I was out at the conference. Then we brought out Heck them line. Het line. I was ADP of that line. I didn't even see the probate. And then y'all came in 2013. So it took 3 years for me to actually see my own chapter bring new boys in like my own eyes. So yeah, it was crazy, man. But like, Greek life is so much fun. I think every one of us would do it all over again. Like it was a whole lot of fun, but there was a whole lot of stress to it. Grades were being affected, all that. And there was we used to get certain perks.
Yeah, like free bottle in the club.
We used to get certain perks, like I just mentioned
skip
earlier.
line, all that shit.
Yeah, you getting bottles in the club.
I ain't gonna count. That was cool.
I gotta say this real quick. Like leaving Gainesville, bro, and like leaving Gainesville, the first place I went to was like Tally, and like, still kind of maybe going out every now and then, bro. I never realized like how crazy it was to stand in line, bro. Because we never really had to stand in line like that, bro.
We never stood in line.
Like, bro, in Gainesville,
it was garbage.
Our face was good. Like we could walk up
easily.
there straight, bro. So like, man, it was just crazy. Like, damn, bro, I'm not even like you gotta like we had love. Like we were showing love. You know what I mean? Just to even to speaking on Troy about the Chick-fil-A, but yeah, bro, just. You meet people and you get a connection with people, and then y'all show each other love, and it's a bunch of that go on in college.
And being a part of it in many ways, bro. Automatically, you being a part of it, you are already on like under a microscope, in a good way and a bad way. So in the good way, when you going out and you're around and you're like in social atmospheres, people want to get to know you. They want to get to know, because you're one of the who's on campus, right? Like, oh, who is this person? Blah blah blah. Like that's not just on the female tip. I mean that's everybody. Like new people on campus. Oh, how you doing? Da da da. Like whatever, all the time. So you always get the opportunity to stay relevant and fresh with what's going on campus and whatnot, right? So that's cool. The negative side to it is, like I said, you always under the microscope. So like. One of the most annoying parts of this is probably the second most annoying thing about being Greek to me is that one person can go out and do some shit. I don't like maybe make a fool of themselves on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, or go out and be a damn fool in front of some women or say some weird ass, corny, weird shit. And what always happens?
Group was all together. Yeah.
Man, the Sigma's this, the Sigma's that, the Sigma's this every time. And I used to hate that shit. I'm like, bruh, can y'all just like separate? Like,
it's
just
like
say
y'all
that
know
person's
who weird,
name.
bro.
Like,
Don't group was all together, bro.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, you know who may have done whatever the shit was. So just leave that to them. Now you throwing in like 15, 20. Well, realistically, you throwing the whole chapter. Like the whole line back from the fucking founders to the newest line, you throwing everybody in a part of that shit. So that shit used to be trash, bro. I used to hate that shit, man. Hated that shit.
Yeah, pointless, bro. Because it's like, I mean, yeah, we part of an organization, but if you see somebody, it was like, it would probably bother us, because if you see somebody in BSU do something, you don't say BSU did this. You know what I mean? You say that person did it. You don't say,
and they could be the biggest faces in BSU.
You don't say club. You don't say Nesby did this. You say, you get what I'm saying? You say the person did it. So, but it was never the same for us. Anybody who was Greek, it was always, the organization as a whole.
Here go an example of when it really got annoying, right? You out here, like I said, scheming, trying to get to know somebody, and you shooting that shot. And then in the midst of the shooting of that shot, they talking about, man, Sigmas be, what you mean, the Sigmas ain't talking to you right now.
Right.
What are you talking about right now? What do you mean the Sigmas be doing, like, Sigmas are this or the Sigmas? Like, hold on. We not all the same. And especially when it came to ZK. In no capacity were we all the same, bro. It was so many, like the spectrum of personalities, it was so wide. It was just like, hold on now. Like, that's my family. That's my brother now. But hold on. We built slightly different. You feel me? So, yeah. So those are one of the annoying aspects of being Greek, man. And then the most annoying aspect of all, right? So, I crossed 2010. I didn't leave. I graduated 2014. Oh, yeah, super senior. And I mean super, super senior, in case y'all didn't know. I had an engineering degree and, 6 years. Anyway, so I seen a lot. As far as lines upon lines across all the MPAC. And, I always got to see people before they were Greek and get to know those people, and then get to see those people after they were Greek. And I got to tell you, bro, one of the most annoying things about Greek life was seeing a person be one way and operate in one way before they were Greek and then become Greek and then become this facade of a person.
Hey, that's not you.
And
bro.
you're just like, bro, like, huh? Like that ain't you. What you talking about? And I know, and I'm looking at y'all the video. There's people we could think of directly who come to mind of that, right? Like that's not how you were before you got them letters. So why you acting brand new? Like, bro, calm down.
I think some of it has to do with, like I was saying before, you know how certain organizations may have a certain type of stereotype. So let's say the person does become a part of this organization and they didn't technically, you know, fit into that stereotype before. Sometimes they may feel that pressure to, you know, fit into that stereotype. And I mean, of course I don't agree with that, you know what I'm saying? But you can get like, okay, if you didn't really dress up all the time, but now you became a part of an organization who dresses up all the time, you might do that. You know what I mean?
See that example, which that's probably not the ideal
best,
example
yeah.
you're trying to use. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not talking about personality. I'm just talking about, you know what I mean? But like, yeah,
Yeah,
personality
you pretty much fit in the mold,
Mm-hmm.
leveling yourself up to a certain standard now that you're a part of this organization with this grand standing. That is A-okay. You feel me? It's okay to get more professional, become more social, become more abreast to your surroundings. That's cool. Nah, bro, I'm talking about the people who were joining these organizations who, and you could talk on both sides, whether it was frats or sororities, but I'm going to talk about frats in this particular instance. I'm talking about the dudes who humble, you feel me, looked up to you like big bro or something like that, and, you know, always dap you up, this and that, to then now you become Greek. And you know like
what's good?
Me, I'm keeping the same energy. Like, yo, what's up, dude? But then it becomes more like you have this beef.
Like we strolling the club. You like
came out of nowhere of like you got a problem.
A different type of arrogance. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like you joined the gang, like you joined the gang or something like that, and it's like, oh yeah, that's the beef. Da da da. Like this is one thing I always believe, no matter what. You feel me? And this is something that some of my old heads told me. Some of them are whatever.
Right.
Don't let our beef become your beef. You feel me? Don't transfer. You feel me? And that was just how it was. Even if you had problems with a sorority because your old head used to mess with this old head over there, and then they beefing, which was so annoying. So that's the third most annoying shit to deal with when you was Greek. But like, yeah, man, it's like what? Like I always say this, bro. The letters are supposed to enhance who you are as a person. You feel me? The letters are not meant for you to find who you are. Like, oh, let me go find the person I want to be of this personality, and then you start going into bullshit ass stereotypes or thinking you way more hot than you really is. Come on, man. Like a lot of cats, bro, deserve to get slapped about that, man. Like, and I say that because you like I'm saying like you have people who, you know, you gotta understand. Of all of us in the frat, I feel like I'm easily one of the most chillest people. You feel me? Just, hey, I ain't out here trying to start nothing with nobody. I'm kicking it. I'm cooling it. But then if you were able to get me to that point of where I'm looking at you like, bro, you moving funny, and I don't like that. Like you really moving funny, bro. Like you coming at you know people in relationships, and now you hollering at people, female in public space. Y'all know what I'm talking about at Cantina. That you know what I'm talking about with that situation where somebody got pushed into some bushes. But like, bro, like you feel me? Like, bro, and you know you got to think it was
nigga had poison ivy, didn't he?
Hey, before the letters even came into it, it was all love. It was always love. Now all of a sudden you got the letters, you out here hollering at old heads, ladies in public, and like where the dude is like 3 feet away, bro. What are you doing? Come on, bro. Look, and I'm sure everybody will listen to this and be like, yeah, we remember how this person switched up, and it wasn't. That's not exclusive to our school's Greeks. It's everywhere, bro. It's everywhere. You got people who join these organizations trying to find themselves, and not really. I'm gonna say, and when I talk about the fraternity aspect, you ain't really a man yet. You don't have that.
You don't know yourself yet. That's it. That's all.
Yeah,
right.
You don't know yourself.
What it is. That's all I think.
Yeah.
I really think it's just like, you know, because I mean, at the end of the day, bro, like I really don't feel like you fully get to know yourself probably until you're like mid-20s. You know what I mean? Like So we
That's
still,
true, but you have somewhat of a foundation. You got somewhat of a foundation.
Oh no, yeah.
There was no way I was gonna come up to you, Dean, and have you out here going against your foundation. There was no fucking chance that I could do that. It don't matter. It don't matter what I showed you or how I acted. You built up a foundation, but you had some people out there who they were. I would use the phrase "quote unquote" weak-minded to be swayed to act a certain way. You feel me? So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, bro. You're right about that. That's, I mean, it happens all over the place though. It does. And like with that being said though, do you think do you think it's different, like being Greek at a PWI rather than being Greek at a, well, now we know it's different, but how much is the difference, do you think, really, like being Greek at a PWI rather than at a HBCU?
I think it's huge.
It's huge. Gotta be.
Yeah, no, it's different for sure.
Yeah, my wife went to a HBCU. Shout out Winston-Salem State. And like, because I've heard her tell stories of her like she's not Greek though. Her telling stories about her time and having relationships, like for real relationships with her professors and so on and so forth. And like a lot of those professors are Greek. Imagine going to your class and it's a Sigma teaching class. Wow. Imagine going to the class and it's Deltas or somebody like, we had people in faculty who were Greek or had association with the black community. But for the most part, when you had a PWI, bro, you technically looking at like a Caucasian teaching that class, or someone Asian.
Honestly, you're not looking at many of yourself. When I came in,
you're just not seeing yourself.
You came in with startup, right?
You're really
engineering program, Troy.
Step up.
Step up. Yeah. So I came in and step up. It was literally me. It was for black people.
Hold on, wait. Hold on, wait. What'd you say? You came in through Step Up?
Yeah.
You came through Step Up?
No. What's the other one?
Step Up was the, you think about something else.
It's another.
Step Up was the engineering program.
Yes, I know, but I was a part of an engineering program too.
Oh no, you were in that other one with a lot of people.
Yeah, what's the other one?
Damn, I forgot what it is.
Can't remember.
But yeah, it was the other one. Y'all had a lot more freedom. Yeah,
we did have a lot more freedom. Yes.
I had a lot more freedom.
But whatever program.
I can't remember either.
Yeah, bro, it was only four of us. Four of us, black people. I'm not talking about males, female. I'm 4 of us. That's it. And it's at least 3, 4. You know what I mean, as far as like just the classes and stuff we be in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Step Up, it would be like 30 maybe.
Step
people.
Up was more straight
for
black
the most
people
part,
though, right?
It was all straight. Yeah, for the most part, you might have one or two.
The one I was in, it was
one or two who were non-black or whatever. But
I wonder how that happened. Anyway, that's a later day.
Yeah, you probably didn't know which one was which. Like because they're easy to be. Because
they were the same thing, but shoot, I can't lie though. I mean, I did enjoy that freedom because that's how I was able to go to everything, bro. Honestly.
Exactly, and I think that's why a lot of people, when they are introduced to Step Up, and then they hear that, oh, you got curfew, and like you got classes all day, like you going from class, like you're in class from 8 to like 4 p.m.
Facts.
It's almost like you still in high school.
As was I, but you also
but
had
y'all
to do stuff outside. You
had
to do stuff outside.
Yeah, we had to do stuff outside.
Classes where we just had to go to class. We had once a week. Maybe we had some type of little thing we had to go to. But,
right.
It was straight. You don't see a lot of yourself. You don't, and that's in the classes too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then think about it from the perspective of me talking about my wife saying she went to a HBCU. Like we got a BSU on campus. I mentioned BSU, and it was the first time that I really realized it. My wife was like, "What's BSU?" And I was like, "Y'all ain't have a BSU?" And then I had to think about it. Wait, the whole fucking school black. Right? You don't need to have programs to try to get black congregation. Right. You feel me? So it's very different.
BSU is
very
Black Student
different.
Union, by the way, for those of you guys.
For people who don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so pertinent. Like going to the university we went to, you looking at 50,000 people, and at least when I first got there, I want to say of that 50,000, you're dealing with like 4,000 or 5,000 black people in total of the entire student population. But for us, that's wild as hell when you think about it. But like for what it was, it's like during my time, freshman year and sophomore year, a little bit, you didn't feel like you were just one mixed in with a bunch of, like, you didn't feel like the dark frosted flake in a bowl of frosted flakes, right, is what I'm saying.
Nah,
you didn't feel like that.
Because we had that community to go to.
Yes, we had the community. Yeah. Yes, sir.
I can't lie. I am thankful that we had a community to be around, you know what I mean? Because, like,
right,
when I first got there, of course, I was hanging with, like, you know, the people in my program that were mostly white and stuff. But at the same time, I was able to, you know, get my culture,
branch out, and kind of, be around people you can relate to a little bit, resonate with. You feel me?
Cause man, being in them lecture hall classes, bro, it might be 3-4 y'all out of 100, bro. Like 120 people,
and all y'all motherfuckers. The first day, y'all ain't sitting next to each other. Guaranteed by the end of the week, y'all sitting next to each
other. Study groups and all, bro. Like we got to team up together, bro. Get through this.
You walk it. Look, it felt like every semester you walk into a class, and those first couple of days of class, you just looking like, am I going to be the only one in here? At least because you got to think too. I think all of us, like, eventually as you get further and further along, your classes start getting smaller. Yeah. So like now you're like, oh damn. You just hoping there's somebody in this thing with you.
Oh, so you in here? Okay, bet. Like, yes.
Yeah, easily. But it was like, I will say this, right? So one thing about the whole PWI and HBCU conversation that takes place, you can hear me being annoyed by the conversation. Whatever you chose to go to, it's cool. It's cool, bro. It's cool. I always get annoyed when, and it's from both sides. It's not particular to one side, but both sides. You got people who will be like, man, fuck going to a PWI, blah 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 blah. Like, you went to a PWI because you ain't like your own people, or you ain't like that. Why you ain't go to a school with your own people? Be around your own people. Like, and do like y'all don't know nothing. Y'all hate yourselves going to a PWI. Y'all trying to get approved by them white people. Blah blah blah. Like, what type of fucking stupid shit? Like, that's one side of the argument. Then you got the other side of the argument of people saying like, oh, look, man, PWIs, bro, they poor. They don't got no money. Like, I ain't trying to be like, there's some aspects. Yeah, PWIs looking at HBCUs and calling them poor, or like they're not good enough. Like, that, all that shit bullshit, bro. All that shit bullshit. Like, there are quote unquote pros and cons to going to each university. You just heard a lot of it just now. You go to a PWI, we talking about going to a class, hoping that we see some of us in there, so we can got somebody.
Yeah, that's not a fun feeling walking to a class. Yeah, you being one of
exactly
only black in there, like that's not encouraging at all. Yeah.
So let me ask this then: if you had the chance, would you go to a HBCU over a PWI, knowing now?
Yes.
Nah.
I would.
Why?
So this is what. So let's make sure we paint the stage of this. Are we talking about, like, thinking of our university right now? Is our university what it is right now the same right now, or it's like what it was when we went?
Oh,
like,
okay, let's go ahead and phrase it.
If it's like when I went, I'm going again. If it's like how it is what I see today, oh yeah, no, I'm sliding. Probably. I have reasons as to why I would have gone to where I went to, and we could talk about that.
Facts. No. When you break it down like that, I mean, I can't do anything but agree. I'm sure Chris can't do anything but agree either. Because it's like, yeah, I mean, nowadays we would choose, but like, I mean, even for me, like, even back then, like, knowing what I went through, I wouldn't necessarily choose. But like, if I was just going back and like, kind of in the same as far as like headspace, I probably would go to a HBCU, especially with like the stuff that I end up wanting to do. You know what I mean? As far as, getting into comedy or entertainment or anything like that. Like, yeah, it would have just been much better for me to
that would have been
HBCU. You know what I mean? Especially somewhere like FAMU, to where you have so many people who came through FAMU who are in the entertainment industry now.
Right.
play, just certain stuff like that. Being around like that, you have a whole, instead of just having a small community, you have a whole school that can maybe get behind whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Rather than just having a small community of people get behind what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the whole school is the army behind your back, right? Whereas going to where we went, the 4,000 of the 50,000 is the army behind your back. You feel me?
Just looking at it for me from that perspective, it would just, I just feel like it would have been a better decision. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Because I mean, for me, I guess the choosing factor was education. You know what I mean? You saying, you see UF best school.
Right, and that's the same thing I kind of experienced. I heard, growing up, you think like, oh yeah, no, be going here, I'm gonna get a better education, blah blah blah. But obviously, you learn more. You're like, they
see UF on that degree.
Yeah,
straight.
right.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's exactly where I fall.
Yeah.
So that is so I'll say this, right? So I studied engineering and so on and so forth. Because when I was thinking about going to a HBCU versus going somewhere else, I was very realistic. My choosing of a college and my experience of like taking classes here and picking this major, this was much more of a business transaction from my perspective. Mm-hmm. You feel me? It was much more of a business transaction. I thought about it in this aspect, bro. I was very self-aware of the country we live in and how it operates. Most of, at least for engineering standpoint, most of these places that I'm going to, as far as being recruited by, or dealing with a recruiter, dealing with a company, so on and so forth. These S&P 500, top 50 companies in the country, whatever. And I've worked for a couple of them so far. You wouldn't imagine, and I'm in the South still, right? You wouldn't imagine how easily and how common it is for people to see that University of Florida on my resume, and I automatically kind of get pushed up to be like, bring this guy in, because I'm part of the SEC.
Facts.
Our school was a football school. It's watched every Saturday, like always competition. The rivalry in the SEC is so crazy, and like most of in a lot of these industries, a lot of the white folks as well as other black people as well, because there are a lot of like Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi State, Ole Miss. Mississippi State, bro, if y'all didn't know, has a bunch of black people. I had no idea. Bro, it's a lot of black people at Mississippi State.
In Mississippi, I kind of realized.
Mississippi got the most.
A lot of black people.
Oh, that's true.
They have the most black people in their state. Mississippi is the state with the most black people in it.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. That was so nuts.
I knew they had a lot of black people in Mississippi, but I didn't know that stat. That's crazy.
Yeah. So me thinking about that, it was always like, like what's gonna look good on a resume. It wasn't about the social consciousness
for me too.
Being quote unquote woke or nothing like that. And I never shit on a HBCU. For those who chose it, I've had conversations with people about this, and I speak my point, but like, a lot of times your degree in the school, the notoriety of your school may have not been as respected and as recognizable as I would have liked in regard to what I was trying to do in the path that I was trying to go through. And I think that's a fair statement to say.
Yeah, for sure. What I do kind of maybe want to point out though is that is the case for engineering, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But that may not be the case. Like you were saying, it may not be the case for maybe a public relations or maybe a journalism.
True.
Or,
Very
what I mean?
True.
Because a lot of people, I know a good amount of people who come out of school with a degree from UF and they struggle to find a job,
True, but let me ask you a question around that, because as you mentioned, journalism and stuff like that, I know a couple journalism people, and I know journalism people who've done good and like really really good, and who kind of ain't really utilizing it now. Sure. I always and I don't know it for 100% sure. I know some of the people I knew, I can speak to them, but I don't know about the whole holistic look of it. But the work and grind that you put in with the degree matter. And I'm not talking about classes. I'm talking about where you out here building that network and utilizing the UF network and meeting of people. Because, and don't get me wrong, right? Well, it's 3 black men on here. A lot of our network is going to be dealing with, like white people who went to our school. But I've never dealt with, even today I work with somebody who went to UF. He's a little older than us, but like immediately kicked it off and just because I went to UF immediately, right? When I need something, like automatically. So I always look at it like with that degree, if it was a degree that typically there was demand for you, and in journalism, there's definitely a demand, right? Somewhere you can do something with that. Did you utilize that did you put forth the effort to build your network, to build those bonds and whatnot, to get out there and get something? Because I know, like, y'all know my boy Zach.
Yeah.
Oh,
y'all know
for
my
sure.
boy
Yeah,
Zach.
Zach the man.
Yeah.
The only reason I asked
my,
that because but I feel like that's with anything. I mean, anything you get out, you're gonna have to put some type of effort in. So that's why I asked. I'm saying, so how much is that degree a factor in that? Is it really the work that you're putting in? You get what I'm saying? Like, is it more so the work that you're putting in, or
it's a combination of both?
I think that work. It's a combination, but I think it's heavily of, okay. So who has a larger network? Who has a larger network?
For sure, the University of Florida,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
So and again,
for sure,
because I don't want nobody getting sensitive, because I got a couple HBCU folks who listen to this. Ain't nobody shitting on y'all network. I've talked to people who say straight up, we get that too. Yes, y'all do. But I can tell you, I'm saying this now. Certain places I've gone to and meeting certain other graduates and what school they went to, I've met far more people that have gone to University of Tennessee, Arkansas, Alabama, all those other schools, and not met people. I haven't met anybody who's gone to Howard. I haven't met anybody who's gone to Morehouse but then at the same time, in my field, it's engineering, right? But I work in distribution and whatnot and stuff like that. So I just haven't seen it as much. But I know for a fact there are industries that, like, specifically, it just seemed like if you black and you want to be a lawyer, go to an HBCU.
Thanks.
Like, that's just what it seemed like to me. Like, that's the avenue to go. So it could just very well just be the industry. If you in public relations, journalism, maybe it is best to go the HBCU route. But those decisions to me should be made on the factor of
the future,
what happens after college.
For sure. Yes. And
right.
And a lot of us don't. A lot of us aren't told that, bro.
Right.
A lot of us aren't told that. A lot of us don't think about, it's something after this, bro. You know what I mean? Like they say, you go to school, get a job, get a career, but like nobody really gets specific with it. Like you literally probably gonna, after you get out of college, like you're gonna have to do something for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? In order to take care of yourself and your family, and you got to prepare yourself for that during this time. And a lot of times that's not said to us, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's not. So we go in there blind. We go in there, doing what we do, partying. We may go doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? We may even go to class all the time, pass our tests and everything, and get a degree. But it's like, okay, damn, all I know how to do is study. You know what I mean? Like all I know how to do is study and take a test. So it's really important for us to know that it's something after that. So I think that's something that definitely has to be known, has to be put out more for sure.
So let me ask y'all a question. We all got kids here. Are you, like, I'm not going to tell you, are you sending? I'm more so going to say,
choice.
Are you encouraging going?
Because for me, like, I don't, if she tells me she doesn't want to go to school, I don't have a problem with that either.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So
right, that's the thing.
I would say I don't know if Deem froze.
Thank you, froze.
Well, I'll keep talking because it's still going to record. I would say on my end, as far as encouraging, like, I'm going to be encouraging my kid, like, obviously. And I'm in the same boat, but I have somewhat of a different perspective. Like, my thought is, we said this on the next episode, the third episode, which by the time this drops, it will be out. I was kind of harping on, like he just mentioned, no one told us anything, right? I'm an exception, and I recognize I'm an exception of kind of being self-aware of, like, all right, like I'm trying to do this after college, trying to do this, right? So that played a factor in picking my degree and what I was going to study. Yeah, he dropped off. He'll be back on soon. His computer probably died. So I am familiar with all of that, right? But my big thing is that we as parents need to understand that we need to lay it out for them.
Right.
Going to college to study, what degree do I want to pick on? I don't want to pick on no one in particular because it's not an indictment on that person in general, but it's just the lack of knowing that that's not gonna be as fruitful as you want it to be later, right? Those degrees, I won't even call out a specific one, but like no one talked to you about that. No one, like I don't know if this is in high school. I don't remember at what point I was somewhere, bro, and we were looking at majors and stuff like that, and then what you would make.
Right, and that's field. Something they really
and I remember
they're doing for kids and whatnot.
Yeah,
right?
I saw that type of shit, and I think even going into that, I already knew like I want to, because I remember being back at home back in Kissimmee, and on the computer looking up salaries for engineering, right? Because I like computers, I like science shit, like technology in particular. That's what really got me. It's a factor of like if I'm sending my kid to college, bro, and especially if you don't got no scholarship, like if I gotta pay for it,
that's what me and Brandon talking about. Yeah,
my boy,
you gotta be real. You gotta keep 100 with yourself, bro. Like
you gotta study something after this is over, because I'm not gonna dish out all this money for you to come back and live with me, my boy. No. We gotta get you right. So I gotta make sure you understand it. And this is the beauty of this phase of life we're in. We are like the first generation. Like I don't know.
That's why I say our first generation too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. My parents never went to college. I don't know if Deems did. But his parents seem to be very active with getting him involved in stuff. So it's possible. But yeah, like my parents didn't know the arena to tell me how to play that game. But we do, right? So our kids have a good leg start now. Yeah, but I was gonna ask, and I hope Deem House back on. I was gonna ask, are you guys gonna have any? I guess not, because when we asked, would you go back and go to HBCU versus PWI? You guys said HBCU. I said I would still go back to that PWI
at that time, right?
But I wouldn't. But yeah, at that time. But I would not be against at all going to HBCU, like slide out. Like, and like I said, my wife from HBCU, so there's gonna be probably a little battle there.
Which option to push them in to go through, right?
Yeah, and it's not even gonna be just HBCU from PWI. It's gonna be more of like go to my school, go to my alumni. You feel me? Like it's probably gonna be more like that. But as long as my kid is let's catch you up, Dean. Welcome back.
Yeah, power went over here, man. Power went over.
Damn.
Oh damn. Deem, as you came back on, we lost you there for a second. It's the idea of one thing we got to do as parents is ensure that our kids understand what they're getting into when they go to college. We had so much fun. College was love. We went to a PWI. We had a lot of fun there. We had a great ass black community. BSU was bumping. Everything was bumping. At the same time, that's never to say that, hey, go to a PWI because that's what's better. Choose what you want to choose. But I am a full advocate of ensuring that they understand you're going to the school because it is going to better you later in life financially.
Bingo.
Right? So I need you to study something that will take care of you. Like I said to Hog Deem, I said, like, look, I'm not paying, like, especially if you don't got no full ride, I'm not paying for your schooling for you to go and study something that I know you're not even really into, and then it's not fruitful. It's one thing to say, like, you know what, hey, it's your passion. All right, my boy, it's your passion. But if you're telling me if you want to study dance and you want to go to a university, a top tier university like Michigan, and I'm paying like $80,000 a year, no.
Yeah, go to Juilliard or something.
Yeah, if you need to go the route that you need to go to school to be in, because you also don't have to do that. You have plenty of people in the fine arts who did not go to any of those schools who are doing damn good. The grind is just different.
But like we said though, that networking aspect of it is always that was one of the top reasons you went. So if I'm trying to get into dance, I feel like I should probably go to a good dance school to get that type of network.
And then you also got to figure, dang, somebody else who is in that industry probably went there. You know what I mean?
Right.
You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just to, I mean,
Nah, that's true.
you know, just to kind of you do want to think about that.
That's
you know,
true.
that would make sense.
But definitely, like you said, I mean, I definitely agree though. Like you said, just make sure, like, if I'm paying for it, like, one, you need to be studying something that's for real.
Yes.
Like that's that you know
Yes, sir.
you get a good return on my investment if I'm paying for it.
That you're gonna stick with, bro. I think that's the thing for us. Are you gonna stick with it, bro? Are you gonna stick with it?
Because I was fortunate. I went on the full ride to UF. Like, so my mom and dad, big thing was just like, hey, come out with a degree. They didn't care what the fuck it was in. It was like, come out with a fucking degree.
Right.
Bro.
We easy with the full ride. We were both on the same thing. So like we could have easily came back with some bullshit, right? So we know how that shit goes. But even with you, Big Hog, you got two. You got one here, one on the way. So I know it's gonna be really important for you to be.
And it's like so Cam and CJ, they're gonna see like, hey, like, look, my parents went to school. Like, is that something I'm really interested in, or are you gonna pick up a trade, or you gonna, whatever, hell,
exactly whatever it is,
military or something like that they want to do. But just saying, like they gonna know what they're walking into when they're not gonna walk in blind like I did. So that's definitely that's gonna be their leg up.
Crazy episode, right? That was part 2. We got one more part left. That was the Hey Bruh, You Seen This podcast with our special guest, Chris Haugabook, our frat brother, our family. We got one more episode where we dive into Chris and what he has going on in these streets, man, and just a lot more funny, man. So please join us for this final episode and, get to know us a little bit more, specifically our man, our guy, Chris.